Do you wish you could be the present mom you've always wanted to be, but still need to provide an income for your family? Are you tired of scouring the internet for legit jobs that will replace your income and that you can do from home in your PJs? Hey friend, welcome to the Virtual Assistant Mama podcast. I know you're over there Googling jobs for moms, legit work-at-home jobs, or start a side hustle, yet you can't figure out how to take that first step. So instead, you stay stuck, do nothing, or start random side hustles to try to make quick money. Becoming a virtual assistant is the answered prayer you've been waiting for. My name is Ariana, and I'm a former teacher turned work-at-home mom who replaced my teaching income as a virtual assistant in just 6 months. I did this by taking a step of faith and following the dream that God placed on my heart to be home with my babies. Mama, your dreams pale in comparison to God's dreams for you. Imagine offering services that light you up, working with clients who value you and pay you what you're worth, and having a job that works around your life and not the other way around. This is the podcast for you. It's time to take that first step. Are you ready? Here we go. Question for you. Are you self-sabotaging yourself in your virtual assistant business? Are you? Are you not sure? Dictionary.com defines self-sabotage as the act or habit of behaving in a way that interferes directly with one's own goals, well-being, relationships, etc. As a verb, self-sabotage is defined as behaving, especially habitually or compulsively, in a way that interferes directly with your goals, well-being, and relationships. So when you hear that, you're probably thinking you don't ever want to intentionally self-sabotage, but the reality is that so many times we do this to ourselves, and you might be right now. So wherever you're at right now, I just want you to be aware and think about this. So I want to dive into 4 questions that you can ask yourself and journal over to see if you're self-sabotaging or not. Question number 1 is, am I coachable? Am I willing to hear feedback without taking it personally? When I first started my virtual assistant business, I had all these ideas bouncing around in my head, how I wanted to structure my services, and how I wanted to help other people start their own virtual assistant businesses, all these things. But I was thinking about it more from my point of view and not really what are people actually asking for. And so when I started working with a coach in my own business, she pointed out hey, this might not be what people actually want. You need to ask them and get the feedback from them before you create anything. And that was hard for me to hear because I already had all these ideas. I was already working on some of them, and that would cause me to restart. And I really didn't want to listen. But then I realized I hired this coach for a reason. I paid her for a reason. I need to be willing to hear her feedback and listen. And, not everything she said was for me, but I needed to be willing to adjust my plans and listen to that feedback that was coming from the outside that was actually going to really help me instead of just continuing down my own path that could have steered me wrong. So for you listening, are you willing to take advice from people and maybe go down a different path than you were originally thinking and try something new, even if it scares you? Or are you just stuck and you refuse to change and you're just going to keep doing what you're doing no matter whether it's working or not? So sometimes we have to get out of that comfort zone and do things that we didn't want to do, but that's okay. That's how we grow our business. That's how we learn new things. And that's how we might discover where our zone of genius is when we might have thought it was something else. So the faster that you are willing to be coached by the people that God has placed in your life and the people you can trust, the sooner you can get out of your own way and stop self-sabotaging. Question number 2 is, am I so fixated on where I want to go that I'm missing what has been given to me or enjoying where I'm at now? So I think one of the biggest ways that we self-sabotage is that we fixate on all the things that we want. We think things like, when I become this, I'm going to do this, or why don't I have this, or she has all of this. This is what I want. This is where I want to be. We're so hyper fixated on all of the whens that we're missing the right nows. And this is a huge form of self-sabotage because there's no joy in continually chasing and continually striving, okay? The only true God-given joy is in the right now journey. So you will have more success and more growth when you're joyful in every little moment. You need to stop being so hyper-fixated that you're missing the blessing that's already here and right in front of you. All right, question number 3 is, do you say yes to everything and everyone around you? I'm definitely guilty of this one. If you are constantly just running around trying to catch up 24/7 and saying yes to everyone, no matter whether you want to do it or not, you're probably self-sabotaging. This can also go the other way around. If you say no too often and you're like introverted to the point where you're not open to any opportunity, you're probably holding yourself back as well. So you need to ask yourself, what are your non-negotiables? What is your list of things that you have to do to live the life you want to live and be a good human and support your family? And what is not that and can be let go of or delegated or whatever. You don't have to say yes and do everything. You don't have to be super mom, super woman, super whatever. You can say no to things. All right, question number 4 is, am I overlearning and not taking action? Are you the type of person who buys 10 courses, finishes half of them, but doesn't actually implement anything you learned from them? Are you overlearning and then you're afraid of taking action because it's not going to be perfect? You think you're new at it. You're just going to hold back until you think you've learned 100% about whatever it is. You have to be able to find that beautiful balance and harmony between taking that big action and learning what the next right step is. So yes, you can get trained in some areas, but you don't need to feel like you know everything about something before you take that action. Now, how do you do that? You can ask God. He's the best mentor in your life. He will help you every step of the way, and he will help you take aligned action. You might take a misstep once in a while, but that's okay. If you are trusting in him, he will help you get realigned. That is my mic drop moment, and I will just end this there. So let me recap for you the 4 different questions you can ask yourself to see if you are self-sabotaging in your virtual assistant business. Number 1 is, am I coachable? Am I willing to hear feedback without taking it personally? Number 2 is, am I fixated on where I want to go so much so that I'm missing what's been given to me or what's already right in front of me? Question number 3 is, do you say yes to everything and everyone around you? And question number 4 is, am I overlearning and not taking action on what I've already learned? All right, so if this is you, you can realign, figure out where you need to be. You might need help to do that. And if so, I would love to invite you to the Scaling Virtual Assistant Mastermind. This is going to help you get totally realigned in your business, focus on your priorities, set those clear boundaries, make sure your services are aligned with the life that you want to live. Show up as the expert in your industry. Stop having that employee mindset with your clients and start showing up as the one who's going to help them grow their business, expand their business, and the person that they can really trust to help them do those things. Then the Scaling Virtual Assistant Mastermind is for you. So you can go to arianavernier.com/mastermind, check out everything that is a part of the program, get your application in. I'm closing the doors on applications soon, so make sure if you're interested in doing that you get that in ASAP. So again, that's arianavernier.com/mastermind, or you can find the link in the show notes. All right, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I appreciate it so much, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I would love to bless you with a free gift as a thank you. All you have to do is leave a review of the show on Apple Podcasts, take a screenshot, and send it to podcast@virtualassistantmama.com. I'll send you a code so you can snag my virtual assistant toolkit for free. And don't forget to come hang out with us in our free community, facebook.com/groups/virtualassistantmama. I'm so honored to support you in your journey to becoming a virtual assistant. Until next week, y'all, keep following the dreams that were placed on your heart so you can be the present mama you've always wanted to be.